Hey guys, my homestead education here. We got trees. My wife just got back picking up. We live about an hour and 20 minutes from Walmart and Costco and all that. And Costco has these bare root trees. And we got some yellow delicious apples, some pear, and I think a plum or two. And we got 2 or 3 different kind of apples, a couple different kind of pears. So we got 10 trees right now, and we're hoping to go back and get some apricot, another plum or two, some more apple, and maybe some peaches. We'll be putting these in the ground probably on Sunday. The sun is about to set. It is nearly Shabbat, and we're just going to chill out and hang out. So now we're going to get these trees out of here and put them away where they won't get in any trouble. All right, so these are the 10 we got. We got some of these I've never heard of, but my wife wanted to try some. Dwarf Summer Red Apples, Red Delicious, Amutsu Apple, a Shinseki Asian Pear, Red Claps Pear, another Summer Red Apple. We have Yellow Delicious apples. What else we got here? A Fuji, another Yellow Delicious, and I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. Chojuro or Chojuro Asian Pear. So we're gonna set these up. Hey guys, it is Sunday now. We're ready to plant out those trees, but we got a chore in front of us. We got to come through here and figure out the best way to do it. It's going to be tough. I'm hoping I don't rip my fence out. We got this little hurricane fence around the front yard that we plant, but I got to come in here and get chains around the bases of these, and they go all the way around, and it's not easy because it's real steep right here, but we got to trim some of it back so I can get to it, and we're going to chain it up. We got 1, 2, 3, I think 4, 5, 6. I mean, we got at least a dozen of these that we need to yank out. And the truth is, I mean, if you've ever dealt with any kind of blackberry bush, these are all blackberries, and we love blackberries, but we got tons of them down the hill. We don't need them right here, and they look kind of trashy. So we got to come in here and remove them. And I'm worried because they're in and out of the fence that when I go to pull with this chain with my truck, I'm going to wrap the bases of them and just try to uproot the whole thing. I'm worried I may pull some of my fence out, which will really stink. So we're going to try to trim it and keep the big stuff out, and maybe the rest of it will just come off. Well, I got a lot of it out of here on this one side, but and I've done this type of pulling brush out before with my neighbor, and they're not home right now, so I can't go request their choke chain, but they got a steel cable. It's like a 1/4 inch, I guess, or maybe even a 1/2 inch cable, and it's got a sliding end on it so that when you go to pull, it'll just tighten down. And when you tighten down towards the base of these big roots, it'll grab a hold of that root really well and cause it to pull it out. Usually, sometimes it does break, but usually it'll rip out just deep roots out with these brush. I don't have one. I need to get one, but I got a heavy duty chain, and it kind of works to a point. But like this last one I just did that you saw, it just cut it in half. Didn't pull any of the roots out, and because it's not choking down, it's just raw pulling power, and it's not holding it together by having a grip all the way around it. So I get to have a lot of fun today. My day just went from a little bit of work, some hard work, to digging it out with an axe. This isn't going to be fun. But we need to get it done. And so we'll go through, we'll cut them. We got to cut them first now with some shears of some kind, loppers, whatever you want to call them. And so we can get down and just hack away at the roots, try to get them out. All right, well, we dug up quite a bit. I tell you what, that was exhausting. A lot of chopping, a lot of digging, cutting. And as you come around this, we got this all pretty much cleared off. A lot of the roots still stuck in the ground. They're big. I got one or two more I'm gonna try to get out with this one right here, this big one. There's a big one sticking out right there. I'm gonna try to get that out with the truck and the chain.
Try to get that plant. That's a thorn bush I'm trying to get out. The tire's stuck in mud right now, so see how it goes. That plant right there. Woo! We got it out. Whoa, look. Yep, that's what it was.
Yeah, we got it.
Right there.
All right, so this is root. This is one of them we pulled out earlier. Not very successful, a little bit. This is the one we just ripped out. Look at that sucker. We still didn't get them all. They still busted off. So I'm sure in the future we'll have them coming back up. But that thing really come off good. I'm pleased with that. So that was the biggest one I was concerned about. Now we can get going. All right, well, we are done clearing off most of this fence line all the way around. We were filming around this corner earlier. We're pulling the vines out. There's the greenhouse, the backside of it. And here's where we've had the sheep. We're getting ready to terrace this area, but hopefully we can get this all cleaned up here soon. And we want to get a really big garden going in here, enough for about 5 families. Anyhow, we're going to start right here. End of the line is a red delicious apple. We're going to plant it out here, and you can see we got them every, I don't know, 15-20 feet or so going back. Now the way we're going to do this, first I'm going to take the package off and get the wood chips out of there. And we're going to dip the roots into a bucket of water while I dig the hole. And the holes, they tell you to dig this giant hole, fill it all with really good soil, and water the crud out of it, which I agree with that part. We moved up here almost 9 years ago. That fall we planted, I think it was 40 or 45 fruit trees. We lost every one of them. And it wasn't a bug, wasn't some fungus growing on the bark. The roots rotted. You need to know the soil. They give you instructions, but you need to know what you got. We have a lot of rock and some clay and stuff down in this dirt, and I dug these big, beautiful, 2.5, 3 foot holes, put compost and potting soil in there. We spent a fortune. Our family spent a fortune on fruit trees, and we were so excited. And I guess it was within the year we lost almost every single one of them, and by the next year the rest of them were gone. And I could walk over and just boop, pick it up, just pick it right up. There was no strength needed to pull the tree out, and the roots were just rotted. And what was happening was that the hole I dug became just a bucket, and it would fill with water, and it wasn't permeating through the soil well enough, and it just ended up being too much and rotted. So what we're going to do, Paul Gauchi says what he does is he takes the bare root plants, opens it up, puts them in, closes it up, and then he'll come back and put cover over the ground. But you put your roots in an area where you can you put them in the soil they're going to have to learn to grow in. and then you come in and you put a lot of stuff on top of the ground, and that will help develop the soil over time. So we're going to dig the holes just big enough to get the roots in there and then cover them up, and we'll show you how that goes. Now I'm just going to take the rest of this sawdust and pour it around here as covering. And eventually we'll come back in here with a lot more wood chips and put it in about that thick and as far out as we can, and we'll just get this whole area heavy with wood chips. And what that'll do, the wood chips will break down and feed this tree, and it'll hold moisture in there. I mean, we've done the wood chip method there up in the garden before, and we have droughts every summer. It's funny because people hear me say we're technically like a semi-arid desert or something. I forget exactly how they classify this area, but there's moss and stuff growing all over the place on the trees, and you're like, what? But we go between 3 and 4 months almost every single year with no rain, or not anything really measurable. So having any kind of ground cover over your root system and spread out as far as you can, because those roots are going to go out and look for more, that'll establish your tree very well.
But this is what I was talking about. Her name is Ewok. That's Ewok. That's Ewok. Good job. Yeah, more. This right here should be a tree that goes gangbusters. We had a pile, well, let's see, this raised bed back here is all cow manure. Guess what the leach field is for it? Right down into here. And then we had some cow manure here, and we had a truckload of horsemen, well, we had just horses here last summer, and they pooped right here. They'd come over here and just poop all day long. And we had a pile, and it's actually come across down here some, but this is super rich soil. It's well composted. The grass started coming in real good. The worms are all in here. I mean, I pulled my tire up into a little pile of it down there, and there was 40 or 50 little red worms that were showing. So anyhow, this ought to be, and we went on ahead and we got which one? The Fuji apple. We like Fuji, and so we decided to plant our only Fuji apple right here and see how it grows compared to everything else. Should be pretty good. There are still rocks in here, unfortunately. Oh man, look at all those worms. Look at all that.
Should I video that?
Yeah. Look at that hole. My shovel. I mean, they're everywhere. There's one of them rocks. Just beautiful soil. It's all right. Hopefully, it's. I'm praying that this manure, a year was enough for it to decompose to the point that this apple tree will make it. If not, we'll be back here planting a new one next year. What am I hitting?
Rock.
Rock?
Yep, it's a rock.
Doesn't look like one. Dadgummit.
We need to go over more.
That is a big
Ooh, golly, that's a lot of worms right there.
I know it. It's just full.
That's a big rock. Wow.
Come here.
No, I already showed it once.
Thank y'all for watching. I really appreciate it. We are excited. We got our first 10 fruit trees in this year. We're looking to maybe, if we have time, to get another 10. Not sure where those are going to go yet. Maybe inside the garden after we do after we get the terracing done. But we're excited about these. We're praying that they do well. We're praying that they produce well for us in the future. And if you enjoyed this video, please comment. I like talking to you guys when I get a chance. Please upvote, re-steam it, share it with your friends, and if not already, please follow. You guys have a wonderful day.